Hi everyone. So it's that time of the year again where I'm going to give you my picks of films to see at this year's Toronto International Film Festival. So I'm not going to be too ambitious this year and give you volume 1 and 2 because it ends up getting out of hand. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet to 15 options. So I did say films, and primarily I will be listing films, and there may be series that I'll suggest to you, but I'll get to that shortly. So the idea is that these films are from the different programs at this year's TIFF, programs that I tend to like and support year after year, including TIFF Docs, Midnight Madness, Wavelengths, Discovery, and Platform. But there are other films in there like special presentations and the prime time program, which is around series. So the idea is that I'm going to list them alphabetically. They're not in any particular order except alphabetical. And I will have the actual list and the brief synopsis of each film available on my website, highmusings.ca, so that you can go look at it. If you are interested in my longer short list or wish list, I'll also link it on my website so you can use tiffer.com to make your own shortlist if you haven't already. And I'll give you at the end of this video some tips and tricks for you to navigate TIFF this year in case it's your first year or you're just returning and are still trying to figure out what to do. Okay, so what are my picks for this year? Again, alphabetically, I have a film called a.k.a. from the TIFF Docs program. The director is Darlene Naponce. And it is set in Anishinaabe territory. And the idea is that Darlene's now using visual art in her documentary style to follow the seasons in her home community in Northern Ontario. I've connected with the filmmaker in the past, and I'm always looking forward to seeing what she does next, and I'm glad to see that she's doing a documentary this time. So that is a.k.a. by Darlene Naponce. Next, I have Barrio Triste, or Sad Neighborhood, from the Centerpiece program, and is the director Stills, who is actually known from their music video director work from Colombia. In the film, it is a debut feature film, by the way. It is sort of found footage style that goes into Medellin, Colombia in the 1990s, and it apparently has a great score, and it follows four teenagers as they document their own, I guess, rowdiness and whatever happens in the neighborhood. And it's, I guess, a mist of bittersweet feelings, including loneliness, violence, but also their own life as teenagers in the barrio. So the name of the film is Barrio Triste from the Centerpiece program. Next, I have Bukra from the Platform program, and the directors are Orion Barkey and Mariam Banani. And the reason I picked this is because it's using 3D animation, and it's sort of combined with a documentary technique as well. So it's kind of a hybrid film, and is looking at the relationship between Bokra, who is a queer Moroccan coyote filmmaker. So remember, it's an animated film, and her cardiologist mother who lives in Casablanca. So it's the mother-child relationship in this film. It's going to be a hybrid film, and it's using 3D animation. So the film is Bukra, and it's from the Platform program. Next, I have La Hija Condor, or The Condor Daughter, from the Centerpiece program by director Alvaro Olmos Torrico. And it's from the Bolivian Andes, and it's about a young woman who inherits the sacred art of midwifery, but also dreams of having a career in the city, finding her voice, and sort of dealing with tradition, ambition, and kind of finding one's own destiny. So that is in English, The Condor Daughter, and is from the Centerpiece program. I also have another film called Ghost School from the Discovery Program, and the director is Siham Gul. And it follows 10-year-old Rabia, who defies rural superstition and bureaucratic neglect when she uncovers that her school was abruptly closed. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. What are these rumors? Is there corruption in local power? So this is Ghost School from the Discovery Program. I love young voices in films. This is why I chose that one too. Next, I have Junk World from the Midnight Madness program, and the director is Takahide Hori. And it's sort of a joint expedition between humans and their emancipated clones. And it becomes this weird dimension hopping time travel fable set over a millennia, and it's using stop motion animation. And the idea is that I picked this film because I saw the photo and the description, and Midnight Madness is always a good time. So this is Junk World from the Midnight Madness program. I also have Little Lorraine from Discovery. The program is Discovery, and the director is Andy Hines, and it's set in small town Cape Breton, and it becomes the home of our international drug smuggling ring. So just the synopsis alone kind of grabbed my attention, but it's featuring the likes of Stephen Arnell, Stephen McHattie, Sean Austin, and Colombian musician J Balvin. So if you know Colombian music and Latin American music, you know J Balvin. So that's Little Lorraine from the Discovery program. Next, I have a documentary called Modern Horror from TIFF Docs, and the director is Nicole Bazwin. And the film is a hybrid documentary that reimagines popular portrayals of sex work to in a stylish exploration in terms of the experiences of Toronto sex worker Andrea Werhan. I've been familiar with Werhan's work because she's done a book and a short film by the same name. So I'm looking forward to seeing this full-fledged feature documentary. Again, it's Modern Horror from the TIFF Docs program. That was a mouthful. Next, I have Nika and Madison from the Discovery program, and is directed by Eva Thomas. It is her first feature, and it is a continuation of a short film that she began a couple of years back called Red Lights, I believe. And it's around a fateful encounter with the police, which propels two estranged friends to reevaluate their relationship. So this is a very thoughtful film. I've seen the short film, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what does come in this feature film. Nika and Madison from the Discovery program. Next, I have Nuestra Tierra, or Landmarks in English, from the TIFF Docs program by Argentinian filmmaker and auteur Lucrecia Martel. She's known to a lot of us from her previous works, and she's making her first array into feature documentary filmmaking in this investigation into the killing of an indigenous community leader and its relationship to the larger, centuries-old story of colonialism and erasure. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Martel works in the documentary world. So this is Nuestra Tierra, or Landmarks, from the TIFF Docs program. I continue with some documentaries for you. There's some of my favorite films. We see Orwell, 2 plus 2 equals 5, again from the TIFF Docs program, and is by director Raoul Peck. He's always somebody who gives us interesting stories in documentary format. I recommend his work. And in this story, he takes a deep dive into the writing of George Orwell from the 1984 book to explore its potent relevancy to our current times. That's all I'm going to say, and that's all we need to know, because I will tell you that Raoul Peck's work will always generate discussion, and it is always very thought-provoking. So this is Orwell, 2 plus 2 equals 5 from the TIFF Docs program. Next, I have Outstanding from the Discovery program, and is directed by Melanie Charbonneau. And the story is about Sandra Perron, who was Canada's first woman infantry officer. And this film is a feature that is sort of looking at a drama in a drama way, that is examining Sandra Perron's life, training to be an infantry officer, but all of the layers that come with that. Whether you are aware of her life or not, I think it's a very interesting story from a female point of view, and something that I think will generate some discussion. Next, I have something from the Primetime program, a Sami Wedding. So the Primetime program is a program where we can watch series from different parts of the world. In a Sami Wedding, I believe it's about 3 episodes that you're gonna get to see, and it's by directors Asa Catherine Volab and Paul Jackman, and they're from Norway. So in this story, A Sami Wedding, we are in Kautokeino, Norway, and the mother figure, Garen, is not really happy in terms of her family and her marriage, but her son is going to marry soon into a wealthy reindeer herding family. So she sees this as a chance to rise in her status in the community by arranging the perfect wedding. So she has to get help from her siblings and is racing against time. And what could go wrong, right? So you're gonna have to go see a Sami Wedding from the Primetime program to find out what happens. Next, I want to highlight Olka Staringitara, or Wrong Husband, by director Zacharias Canuck, and is from the Specials Presentations program. Zacharias Canuck is an Inuk filmmaker who's done a lot of work that you should be familiar with if you are residing here in Canada. And in this film, they are blending the supernatural with verite realism. And the film is following a boy named Sapa and a girl named Kaujak, whose union in marriage is promised by their families from birth. So the idea is that we're going on a journey with these two young people. And again, this is Oik Sarang Gitara, Wrong Husband, by Zacharias Canuck from the Specials Presentation program. I love his work too, so I highly recommend checking this one out. And lastly, I have With Hassan in Gaza, preceded by It's So Beautiful Here from the Wavelengths program. And these are 2 films. The first one is With Hassan in Gaza by director Kamal Al Jafari, and is constructed from 3 mini DV tapes that the artist and filmmaker recorded in 2001 when he visited the Gaza Strip to try to locate a former cellmate. And in the film, he's reflecting on loss and memory and, connecting back to the Palestinian people. And the short film that will be preceding this screening is called It's So Beautiful Here by director Basma Al Sharif. And it was originally presented as an art installation. It is a short sort of story, and it depicts a horse ride at dusk on a farm in Gaza through the sights and the sounds of that community. So again, this is my last pick for you, With Hassan in Gaza, preceded by It's So Beautiful Here from the Wavelengths program. So far, I've given you about 15 options of films and a series that you can take in at this year's TIFF. I recommended these because I believe some of them do not have distribution yet, so this might be your first chance to see it on a big screen at the festival. For all details on these films, you can go to, and schedules and tickets, you can go to tiff.net. And for my short list and a synopsis of this particular list of films, you can go to highmusings.ca. And if you want to create your own short list, you can use tiffer.com. All of these links are going to be available in the description here. And don't despair if you see things that are potentially sold out or off sale. It doesn't mean that you might not get to see them. Look at how many screenings are available for these films. Some of them have 2, some of them have 3, some of them have more. And I will suggest that if you're okay with going through the week, pick a weekday in the afternoon if you have time, Or the last weekend is also another way to catch some of these films that maybe you haven't made it to your list just yet. I know there's a lot to choose from this year. There's some really interesting Hollywood films. You probably heard me talk about Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro, so that's sort of like my wish list. But again, those are films that I know are going to come out later on, so I will gauge what I can get to in real time. So I hope that you add some of these films to your lists and hit me in the comments and let me know how you like them, what you're seeing, and let's stay connected. See you in line.